We've got 12 Am I the Devil Reddit stories for you guys today. Starting it off, with university expulsion due to cheating. This was the most upvoted of the week, and the caption is "No words, this was crazy." Very excited for that one, but stick around for 11 more absolutely evil Am I the Devil Reddit stories, such as, am I the a-hole for telling my brother-in-law to get over himself and to quit holding a 10-year-old grudge? Caption on that one, it's only $70,000. Get over it. And finally, the story that we're going to be ending the video on: banned on all dating apps. 31 male, lonely. He also spelled lonely wrong, and I don't know how to explain it, but that pisses me off to no end. Alrighty, chat, we got some juicy stories today. Y'all know the drill. Let's lock in here. Posted in r/legal advice. University expulsion due to cheating. The course I cheated in was not a major course. I completed all of my major courses by merit, and this is my first cheating offense. I have never been accused of misconduct or wrongdoing in my 4 years at this university. First and foremost, I have reached out to an attorney who has recommended me a few things, but I wanted to come here as well for any and all advice. Backstory. Sometime in February, I planted a camera behind the keyboard in the classroom where my professor lectured. Once she typed in her login information, I was able to view the video and obtain her login information to use for my own personal benefit. On dozens of occasions, I logged on using the professor's login information on school computers in labs that have cameras and viewed exams, passed labs, and even changed my own grade in the course. The first exam around late March, I had seen the answer key prior to taking the exam and naturally got an 100% on the exam. No suspicion was raised by the professor. I continued to view answer keys prior to the next exam, which was taken in late April. My exams were very identical to the answer keys. I had noticed that the professor changed her password after the second exam when I went to log in again. And so I put the camera back in the same place as the first time. However, this time, at some point during the video, it shows her looking directly at the camera, implying that she did indeed see it. In the beginning of May, about a week after the second exam, my professor came up to me after class and asked me to come with her to the department chair's office. When I sat down, the department chair told me that there was a strong suspicion of me cheating on exams 1 and 2, and asked if there was anything I wanted to tell them. I said, I admit I cheated on them. That is all I said. I did not admit to how I cheated. Afterwards, he asked me how I cheated, to which I did not respond. They had me sign a form essentially stating that I admitted to cheating and that they were going to pass along the information to the Academic Affairs Committee for further investigation and potentially further sanctions on top of an F in the course. About a week later, a police officer from the university came to my apartment and asked me to come with him. He drove me to the campus police station where I was questioned about illegal computer usage. An hour later at the academic affairs office, I was informed verbally that I was going to be expelled from the university. And a day later, I received a letter reiterating the fact that I had been expelled. The letter says that I will not get a degree, cannot participate in graduation, and cannot be readmitted to the university now or in the future. I reached out to an attorney yesterday and will be meeting with him tomorrow. I mean, so far you fucking deserve it. I cannot confirm nor deny that I cheated in some of my classes before. I think that's pretty fucking normal nowadays. Like, there are a lot of college students cheating. I'm definitely not saying it's a good thing. Recording something that you shouldn't be, and then on top of that, recording to get access to someone's private information, that is expulsion worthy in my opinion. If bro had just copied homework or looked at somebody else's test, that's where I think an expulsion would be too much. He violated the professor's privacy, and just something about recording it feels so scummy to me, chat. The steps I'm taking for this: the university allows students to appeal this decision within 5 days of receiving the letter, which is what I'm doing. Essentially, the appeal that I have written states that I admit my actions were egregious and that I felt so much pressure to pass the course and felt awful when I cheated even before I got caught. I said that I wanted to fess up but didn't know how, and that when I was confronted, I did not at all try to justify my actions, hide them, or lie. I came clean completely, and the burden was finally off. In my appeal, I am respectfully asking for my sanctions to be lessened to at most a suspension from the university so that I can still graduate, albeit not on time. I have not yet sent the letter, as I still have a few more days to submit the appeal, and I am waiting for my attorney to look at the letter tomorrow and give me any advice. The reason I got an attorney was so that I could either A, heavily grovel, an attorney cannot be present during the hearing, and the attorney would just help me before I go in. B, basically sue the school, saying the sanctions are too harsh. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, you did the most to cheat there. Big no-no. I will not be denying my actions. The school has sufficient proof that I used the professor's login credentials for my own benefit. I have to come clean and just hope that the school shows mercy. If the appeal does not go well, I will resort to plan B, which is getting the attorney directly involved. Any advice on what I should say during the hearing or anything else I should do? I mean, I think you just got to take the L to the chest. You're wasting both their time and your time. They very clearly caught you, and you're basically going up to them and being like, wee woo, I actually did do all the things that you're accusing me of, but please don't expel me. Like, nah, dude, like, own up to it. You fucked up, and like kind of in a very violating way. Go to fucking therapy and realize how much you made a fucky wucky here. Like, I think this is just such a waste of time. Like, just go to another school and finish it all out. Like, he still has all the credits, right? It's probably not a good look to have been expelled from another school, but I'm sure he could get in somewhere. Could the professor press charges? What did they say the crime was when OP went to the police? Illegal computer usage. Is that a thing? Illegal computer usage or cybercrime encompasses any illegal activity carried out using computers or the internet, including unauthorized access, data theft, and the spread of malware. Oh yeah, I guess it would be kind of data theft. If you illegally acquired somebody's email and passwords and signed in somewhere that you weren't supposed to. I mean, I think you're just asking for them to press charges on you. That's what I would be most worried about. If they've caught you red-handed, shut the actual fuck up and just hope and pray they don't press charges on you that will affect future jobs, and just go to a different school. Yeah, like, this is normal. I feel like Addy Bear. Don't get me wrong. Don't cheat, y'all. That being said, if it's like this kind of cheat, I can't really say shit. If it's this kind of cheat, I'm like, you fucked up. I would have rather failed a test than recorded my professor's keyboard so I could log into their accounts and get answers. Literally wouldn't have occurred to me to just do this. I think you really do need to be a bad person for this to even cross your mind of things that you can do in order to cheat. In my head, cheating is like copying homework or some shit like that. Like, it's not get your personal information so that I can log in and violate your privacy. Like, that's fucking crazy. Say hi to stream. Beans, tell the people something.
Such a handsome boy. You're just so pretty.
Let's go say hi to chat. Look at this handsome boy. Bro's chilling. Oh, yeah. Oh, hi. Yeah. I love you so much, handsome guy. Oh, you want down? Okay, you go down. Is this what you came for, Mr. Boy? Treat time, treat time. Guys, these treats are brought to you by Jennifer and Theo on YouTube. Thank you guys for your YouTube donations. Here you go. Right here, right here. Are those trees very good? I say more. Oh my gosh. Goose with the 5 gifted. Goose, did you just want me to give Beans treats from you? Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Well, you got it. Goose, thank you for the 5 gifted. Right here, buddy. Hey. Oh. Where are you going? I have treats for you. Did he just say fuck it? Damn, Goose. Beans does not want your treats, man. He just left. I feel like if there's one thing about the Beans that you need to know is that the Beans does what the Beans wants, and you kind of just gotta let home skilly vanilly come to you, you know? These are from Goose. I'll put another one in there for Hey Woo and Theo. I'm just gonna put them in his food bowl, okay? He'll get around to eating them. I promise. If there's one thing you can count on, it's bro eating his treaties. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother-in-law to get over himself and quit holding a 10-year-old grudge? My brother-in-law, married to my sister, is a general contractor. About 10 years ago, my dad and brother were building a deck at my parents' home. They asked my brother-in-law if they could borrow his skid loader, but he said no. They prepared the ground as best as they could without the skid loader, but got to the point where they couldn't go on without it. They went to my sister's house to ask again, but found out brother-in-law went out of town. They talked my sister into letting them borrow it, so she took them down to his construction lot and they hooked it up to my dad's truck. The next part I'm not so sure of since I don't know how much about towing, But from what I was told, Dad's truck wasn't big enough or powerful enough to tow the skid loader on the dump trailer. So he lost control and wrecked. The truck, trailer, and skid loader was totaled. The insurance was barely enough to cover the medical costs and the truck. There was none left over to cover brother-in-law's stuff. They covered the truck before they covered the skid loader for him? You borrowed someone else's shit and broke it and fixed your own shit before you fixed theirs. Medical costs, I understand. But buying yourself another truck instead of putting that money towards a new skid loader that you fucked up that you weren't supposed to be using, that's just dog shit behavior right there. Inconsiderate as fuck. When he got back to town, he exploded. He threatened to sue, and things just went downhill from there. My parents are not rich, and he wouldn't have gotten anything, so in the end, sister talked him into letting it go. However, from that day on, he wouldn't have anything to do with our family. He doesn't come for birthdays, holidays, nothing at all. Next month is our parents' 50th anniversary, and we're planning a big family gathering to celebrate. We're also chipping in to send our parents on a cruise to Mexico, because they've never been out of the country. Bro, how about you chip in to pay for homie's fucking skid loader that you guys fucking broke and he did not give you permission to use? That would make me so mad. I spoke to my sister about it the other day and she said she's coming with the kids, but brother-in-law's not coming. I was fine with that, but when we were discussing their portion of the cruise money, I heard him yelling in the background to deduct their portion from the cost of the skid loader and dump trailer. That pissed me off, so after my call with my sister, I called my brother-in-law and told him to get over himself. This brother-in-law needs to go wreck something of theirs that's worth, I mean, this post says $70,000. Is that really how much skid loaders are? I genuinely don't know. I actually don't even know what a skid loader is. Let's look at some images. Oh shit, okay, I know what this is. I just didn't know that it was called a skid loader. There's no way these bitches can be cheap, right? Like, damn, you can order a skid loader off of Amazon for $7,000? Who's trying to go in with me on a $7,000 Amazon skid loader, chat? I don't know what I'm using it on, but by God, would I figure out what to use it for. This one's $45,000. That's fucking crazy. Okay. Even if it's not $70,000, it's probably pretty fucking expensive. I told him dad and brother made a mistake, but that was 10 years ago and he needs to let it go. He said he'll let it go when they give him the money he lost. I told him he's an ass for holding onto a grudge and putting money in the way of a family relationship. Sis called me a few minutes ago and said they're not coming and that I was out of line. We argued for a bit and that's where it stands. I don't think I'm in the wrong for telling him to let go of the past, but they're not coming to the anniversary party, so now I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm guessing this is an edit OP added. Answers to your questions. Let's get something straight. My dad and brother are not bad people. Yes, they fucking are, and so are you. Shut the actual fuck up. If you fuck up anybody's property, whether it's $10 or fucking $10,000, you are a bad person if you don't figure out a way to make amends there. If you think you can just fuck up someone else's property and go, oopsies, my bad, get over it, you're just objectively a shitty person. My dad and brother are not bad people. They are good people who made a mistake. They couldn't pay back brother-in-law because he wanted almost $70,000. And again, we're not rich. Dad had to buy another truck because he needed it to go to work. Should have fucking thought about that before he went and took equipment that he had been previously told not to take. Like, even if you can't pay back the total $70,000, you should make an effort. This is fucking family. If your dad was a good person, he would say, hey, let's not spend the money on a cruise to Mexico. Let's spend the money on paying back some of the money that we lost our son-in-law. On the other hand, brother-in-law had 3 other sets of skid loaders and dump trailers on his lot that day, so he could take the financial hit while my parents would be homeless. Brother-in-law and sis are way better off than the rest of us, so while I understand your reasoning of paying brother-in-law back, he doesn't need it. That's not the fucking point, dude. It sounds like this is his business. You probably not only costed him $7,000 of equipment, but tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business. Like, is OP fucking stupid? The cruise to Mexico isn't some millionaire trip. The total cost is about $3,000 and it'll take over 20 people to pay for that. Again, we're not rich. We can barely cover $3,000 spread out over 20 people. So there's no way we can pay $70,000. Okay, dude, but $3,000 is better than the nothing that this dude had to incur. At least make an effort. If someone broke my computer, like, that was a very expensive computer. And if they're broke, I would just want a sincere apology and an effort. Even if it's like a stupid payment plan where they're paying $5 a month for the next, I don't know. It'd be a fucking long time. Don't make me do math, chat. I'm a YouTuber. 60 divided by what? 3,000? That'd take 50 years? Fuck it. Imagine trying to tell somebody to get over losing $70,000 $70,000 fucking dollars. Like, I know people who get butthurt over $100, which still is okay. That's like a fifth of some people's rent. That's $70,000. Anybody trying to brush that aside is just a fucking awful person. Judas, I think OP is the devil too. OP is the devil for enabling the behavior. I truly believe that. What about the wife/sister? The sister should tell them to fuck off. If I'm married to someone and my family fucks over my partner and they're not willing to fucking like take accountability for it, I'm going no contact. If you're a woman, read this. This post does not condone any illegal activities. I feel like if you have to clarify that at the beginning of a post, don't write it. Hi, ladies. I will share one perspective that more or less represents how most men on this sub feel and why we're here. I'm in my 30s. When I was younger, I did okay in dating prior to Tinder's debut. Fast forward to 2024. I had just finished with the Marine Corps. Fucking crayon eater. I was and still am in great shape. I'm tall, got into bodybuilding, had a hair transplant, under eye fillers, skin treatments, LASIK, and tripled my income. I went from being a 5 to a solid 7.5 on a scale from 1 to 10. I moved to Romania right after the military, only to see what it's like. Been here for almost a year. I went to the US to visit my family for 2 weeks, and a girl I was interested in said she wouldn't be able to meet again for almost a month because she was too busy with work. So because I am not a 10, she literally didn't care. Hold the fucking phone, bro. What? Call this man Bugs Bunny the way he jump into conclusions. What the fuck? Hey man, have you ever thought that like she actually is too busy with work and that just means she's too busy with work? And mind you, even though she was pretty, she was quite heavy for her height and I would not have been able to pick her up physically. Just say you fucking weak. My message to you is this. I shed blood, sweat, and tears to become the man I am today. And there is... Hey man, I hate to break it to you, but that blood, sweat, and tears were wasted because you are a piece of shit. Any person that goes, I shed blood, sweat, and tears to become the man I am today. Fucking loser. And there is no way in hell I will ever go back to dating in the US. I get treated like a king in Romania, and I'm appreciated here. With that said, 1, you do not have the right to tell us how to conduct ourselves overseas. 2, what 2 consenting adults do behind closed doors is none of your business. 3, women in Western countries have no qualms about taking advantage of men for their resources. At least overseas, we are appreciated for it. I don't think that's the case. Like, you can get taken advantage of for your resources anywhere in the world. It's not like you land in Romania and there's just like something in the air where women are like, oh, I'm not gonna use anybody for their resources. Shut the actual fuck up, bro. 4, for men like myself who hop from bed to bed. Keep in mind, we are a small minority. There aren't nearly enough men to ruin women. This is a problem only in the West because Western women make almost as much money as men do. Poorer countries do not have this issue, and women still pair bond with locals due to financial dependence. This guy just wants women to be property. That's insane. Lastly, there's no way on God's green earth we're going to let you infiltrate one of the only men's spaces we have left. If we have to make another social media platform to stop you, we will. The clown show ends here. Edit 1, I can see why women weren't allowed to vote. Edit 2, this entire sub has more women in it than men. If you want an invite to our new private sub, send me a DM. That hurts, dude. I just cannot fathom being this insecure. Like, are you really threatened that much? I can tell this man was so insecure just off of this paragraph. You don't need to rate yourself on a 10-point scale. Like, I've never actually sat there and contemplated how attractive I am on a 10-point scale. And I think any man that has needs to get themselves in therapy ASAP Rocky. What are we doing, dude? If I ever have a son, this is the shit I want to show my son and be like, this guy, fucking loser. Don't end up like him. 90% chance you're a decent person with a bright future. Like, oh, brother, this guy stinks. This man has the 90-Day Fiancé casting department frothing at the mouth. You're totally right. 90-Day Fiancé would literally get a fucking half chub casting from this stupid fucking subreddit. r/walk away. I lost a friend of 6 years to the left's hysteric fearmongering. To start, I've never associated with the left. The first political thought I ever had was how Hillary was much more worthy of mockery than Trump back in 2016, fresh off of Pokemon Go to the polls. Regardless, I feel like this is the only reasonably sized community I can relay this story to. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hillary sucked, but like, I don't think there's anybody worthy of more mockery than Trump. Even if you are a Trump supporter, you cannot objectively look at that man and tell me that he isn't mockery worthy. Like, the things that come out of his mouth are so fucking ridiculous. There are endless clips of him just saying shit. Like, don't get me wrong, Hillary wasn't that great, but most of these guys just don't like Hillary, don't like Kamala, because they're women. Call a spade a spade. I had a left-leaning Dutch friend for 6 years. Despite what one might infer about that statement, politics was never a major topic in our conversations, and I could get remarkably brazen with jokes that revolved around mocking the extremes of the left. I had a feeling I was slowly but surely red-pilling them, guiding them away from the very extremes I would mock. Bro, I was red-pilling them so hard. God, I want to just red-pill my friend in the ass so bad. I just want to touch tips, my red pill to his red pill. Sorry, I don't know where that bit came from, chat, but by God, did it manifest itself. For a time, I was even in love with them. All this fell apart when I tried to tell them that the Roe v. Wade overturn wasn't some apocalyptic event to try and save them from getting transformed into a doomer. They turned into a completely different person. They did not directly respond to a single thing I said. They did not display an ounce of goodwill. Not once did they try and persuade me towards their argument in a reasonable way. Yeah, because if you think Roe v. Wade being turned over wasn't a big deal, you're a fucking moron. If you're that stupid, I think you're just that stupid for life. You're actually hopeless and like probably a really fucking bad person. I will put my money on that shit. They went ballistic. It was genuinely horrifying to witness a friend of 6 years dying before my eyes and being replaced by another leftist puppet, dancing on strings they don't even know are there. I feel like I witnessed the rotten fruits of pure evil that day, and it will stick with me forever. A grim reminder of what must be opposed. So he's saying it's pure evil to be upset that women have no say over what happens to their body. Chat's going crazy with the castrate comments, and I have to agree, bro. Just get rid of the whole fucking man. Not agreeing with Roe v. Wade is one thing, but thinking that someone is pure evil and not even being able to understand why overturning that violates other people's, or at least what should be other people's basic human rights, you're the evil one. And you're also, I've said it once and I will say it again, fucking stupid. There's no argument to that. You are actually fucking stupid. Educate yourself and you will realize you're wrong. Them crazy leftists again with their human rights and shit. How crazy. Like, that's literally how fucking some of them sound. They're like, oh shit, they're evil. They're so bad. They want other human beings to have the same human rights as other human beings. How fucking evil can you get? Insane, dude. I have no problem telling people like, hey, you might be smart in other aspects of your life, but if you voted for Trump, you're fucking stupid and you should apologize to all the women in your life. You basically voted against their basic rights as humans and the support of it. Am I the a-hole? Wife consistently does tasks after I say I will do them. My wife and I have been married for 4 years. We had our first child 6 months ago. She does things like this often, but as an example, the other morning, she asked me to make a bottle for our child. I had just finished making breakfast and cleaning the dishes and wasn't dressed for the day yet. I replied saying that I would make the bottle right after I got dressed, which I was going to go do right now. I went and got dressed, which took maybe 3 minutes, and came back downstairs to find my wife holding the baby and making the bottle. In a vacuum, not really any big deal, but it is a repeat behavior, which I find myself frustrated by often. Am I the a-hole for getting annoyed? I perceive it as her passive-aggressively saying, you aren't putting the task I asked you to do above all others, and therefore the speed of your response is not fast enough. So I'll just do it myself. I wouldn't even mind if she just said, actually, can you please make the bottle first? You really wrote an Am I the a-hole post about this, and then somebody took it and put it in Am I the Devil? Like, bro, compared to the 4 people that we've read before this dude is nothing. The only thing you're the a-hole here for is just not communicating with your wife. Literally just ask her, hey, when you do this, is this you being passive aggressive? Because sometimes it feels passive aggressive. And maybe she says yes, maybe she says no, whatever. You can then go to be like, would you mind just telling me if you want me to do something right away to just just do it. That's it. I don't think this person's a devil. They were cooking and cleaning and just wanted to get dressed in this situation. And we don't know everything about this person, but like, I would have never put this post into AmITheDevil. I'm willing to tar and feather this man. I don't even think he's the devil in this particular situation, you guys. Like, she said, hey, can you make this bottle for our child? He just said, yeah, I need to go get dressed real quick, and then I'll do the thing that you asked me to do. Like, I actually don't think that's that bad. If the wife was really mad about him not doing it right away, she could have just said, hey, I would actually like you to do this right now. And then if he was like, fuck you, or like whatever, sure, he's an asshole. But like, it doesn't seem like that was at all communicated. I just think he's an a-hole, not for the situation, but for the lack of communication of like, this is honestly just him being like insecure and not asking his wife and communicating with her like healthy, normal adults should be doing. Marigold, this is how I feel. Small mistake. You are a terrible husband and father. I would even argue it's not a mistake. If we're gonna call this guy an a-hole, we're all a-holes. At every point, nobody can deny this. They've been asked by their partner, by their mother, by their friend to do something, and you have definitely at some point been like, I gotta go do this other thing first. Let me go do that, and then I'll do your thing. If we're really saying that he's an a-hole for that, then we all are fucking a-holes. With the info that we're given, I feel confident with not the a-hole. You guys, this one is a little bit heavy based off of what the person captioned it when they posted it in AmITheDevil. So little trigger warning here for the stream as well as for the video. If you need to dip and come back, that's perfectly fine. R/relationship advice. My wife says she wants to die rather than continue to be married to me or be a full-time parent to our 3 children. Will you guys please tell me the hard truths I need to hear? We have a 29 female wife and a 30 male OP. So they started it by saying, I posted this earlier in the week, but quickly took it down after receiving a bunch of advice I didn't want to hear. But in the title, it says, will you guys please tell me the hard truths I need to hear? Not a good start. I'm reposting this again, this time ready and willing to just go with the advice I receive, knowing that I have been working against myself here. And I just need to change. It is worth noting, I am a Christian. I grew up without a good example of healthy marriage, and I wanted to be different, which in my mind meant fighting tooth and nail to keep my marriage. My main focus has just been being a supportive husband and father. My wife recently has emphasized again that the idea of being married makes her feel suicidal, that she needs to find herself. She can't be a mom, a wife, and herself at once. She has greatly struggled with mental health issues over the years, and any notion of giving up on my marriage feels like I'm quitting on someone that is sick and just needs love and support. I'm going to just leave this post up, not check it for 24 hours, and then brace myself for some hard, honest truths. Thank you in advance. And then this is the actual post. This is a long journey to try and document that's been going on since the beginning of COVID, roughly. Over the course of 5 years, my wife and I had 5 pregnancies. Pregnancy 1, our now 6-year-old. Pregnancy 2, miscarriage. Pregnancy 3, 4-year-old. Pregnancy 4, 3-year-old. Pregnancy 5, miscarriage. Holy shit. After our first daughter was born, my wife started experiencing disassociation and depression. I was just an ignorant dude. I recommended she pursue therapy and offered my full support as best as I knew how at the time. She continued on and off with therapy, but I think it was a really bad fit in the long run. We ended up having a miscarriage and it hit both of us differently. She seemed semi-unfazed by it at the time, although I believe she further dissociated. She told me as she was about 7 months pregnant with our second child that she has been having an affair. She was completely disconnected from reality and needed help. I broke down. World felt shattered. So I'm unclear if this is 7 months pregnant with their second pregnancy or second child. But either way, after that affair to continue to bring children into this world, like, bro, throw a condom on and get in marriage counseling. She was volunteering to work on things. I agreed. We got into marriage counseling. Okay, all right. Still not a fan of the babies though. It was like Jekyll and Hyde. Some days I was all she ever wanted. The next day I was the biggest hindrance in her life. I read up on a million different conditions. For the next year, she basically went back and forth, continuing to have her affair, us being separated for months at a time, her saying we're working on things. She's struggling with suicidal ideation, was in lockup at a mental facility, etc. I'm just taking care of a newborn, 1-year-old, and a 3-year-old. Eventually, I filed for divorce. We had a DV incident where she hit me several times. I was heartbroken, but I feel like a damn idiot for staying. I know this wife is like going through it, but like, I don't think we can excuse her actions. Me personally, a DV incident and an affair, maybe there's more we don't know. In our state, it takes 90 days for a divorce to finalize. Day 80, she's begging me. I want to work on our marriage no matter what it takes. Long story short, we didn't get divorced. Oh, brother. In the 3 years since then, we've worked hard going to marriage classes, counseling, etc. Struggles? Absolutely. It seemed like a constant cycle of everything being decently okay, and then her just being angry and thinking I'm the worst. Starting in November, maybe even sooner, I started to feel a rift. We've always been regularly intimate. If we aren't intimate for more than a few days, we end up just kind of initiating sex in the night while we're sleeping and wake up to us being in the middle of it. Is bro trying to say both of them at the same time started doing some like sleepwalk sex? Is that what he's saying? No, that's not a thing. I refuse to believe that's a thing. There is no way you just wake up to being in the middle of sex. Like, that can't be real. Wait, Tabby, it is a thing? Tabby, be so dead ass right now, because I really don't want to have to Google that. But like, if this is like a normal thing that married couples or couples have found themselves doing, I don't want to discount that, but I have never heard of this in the 27 years of my life. It happens a lot. I never done it with people or as a couple, but I experienced it as myself. Tabby, so are you saying that you and your partner have both woken up from your sleep kind of like mid-sex with each other? Is he just making excuses for him initiating sex while she's asleep, which is probably SA? I'm more trying to understand if this is like kind of a normal thing for some people, because if it is, maybe. Yeah, it's like a little offshoot of sleepwalking, but instead you start doing sexual stuff. You can start touching yourself in your own sleep, touching other stuff, climaxing, etc. I've never done it to my partner, my girlfriend, but I told her about it because I'm afraid I would do it to her. Some couples have experiences waking up mid-sex because of this though. Some people use that as an excuse to SA though, and most of the time you need to be studied to know for sure if you're actually sleepwalking. So it is a thing. There's like a small likelihood that that is actually happening and nobody's consent is intentionally being violated. I didn't know it was a thing, so I appreciate you sharing this, Tabby. Okay, so it sounds like it could have been a thing, but like a lot of us are definitely not giving him the benefit of the doubt on it. We just kind of ended up initiating sex in the night while we were sleeping and waking up to us being in the middle of it. Everything was dropped off though. Friendly conversation, intimacy, emotional and physical. I kept advocating. Well, one night in December, I guess, I had initiated sex in the night. I woke up to her gone. I guess I had initiated, she wasn't feeling it, but didn't wake me up or try to stop it. Not to blame her at all. She told me when she came home, saying she had been uncomfortable. I profusely apologized, offered to sleep on the couch, do whatever to make her comfortable. Therapy, etc. I want to know if this is like a medically recognized thing. Let me do a little research here. I don't even know what to Google search, chat. Can someone assist me? Is it sexsomnia? Is that what it's called? Holy shit. Yes, sexsomnia is a real and recognized sleep disorder. Sexsomnia is a condition where individuals engage in sexual behaviors while asleep without conscious awareness or recollection. It is a type of parasomnia, which is a sleep-related disorder characterized by unusual behaviors or experiences during sex. Sexsomnia can manifest in various ways, including masturbation, sexual vocalizations, touching or fondling others, and intercourse. Whoa, I had no clue this was a thing. Y'all, I think this is above Reddit's pay grade. I don't really fuck with the wife. If everything OP is telling us is true, domestic violence is not okay, and having an affair, like cheating on your partner, is not okay either. You guys know me, I like to try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and it's like, if this could potentially be a real thing, it could also truly not be intentional. Like, based off the research that we did, it is possible that everything that he did in that last paragraph that we just read is not intentional, and it's a serious medical condition. We had a few weeks or so of everything being okay after, still intimate, only if she initiated, talking about issues. Eventually, she tells me she wants a divorce. She's looking for a job, wants to live in her car. She's going to K-word herself if she has to stay married and a full-time parent. I tell her I'm not happy to get divorced, but I'll sign whatever papers she presents me with. She's not a hostage. I only want to be married to someone that wants to be with me. I started to sleep separate, which makes her super angry. So I started sleeping in our bed again. What? I don't get it. This whole story is fucked, chat. Everybody's the devil. What is this wife doing? Hey, I wanted to separate. OP, okay, I'm gonna go sleep in another bed. Her, I'm gonna get angry about it. Like, so I start sleeping in our bed again. I advocate for her to get into therapy, which she does, and it seems her new therapist is a good fit. She's been in therapy on and off for years. This isn't her first therapist since 2020. Therapist tells her to not make rash decisions like divorce while she's mentally indisposed. They want to do blood work, meds, and the works. This has to be a church therapist, bro. There's no way this is a real therapist. There's no way that this therapist isn't hearing all the fucking shit in this marriage and the things that she's saying and then going, hey, don't make any rash decisions. Or that therapist needs their license revoked, because what the fuck is we doing? She's just been going further and further downhill since January. She's in like 4 women's groups, therapy, book clubs, etc., all about mental health and wellness. She's been getting more withdrawn from all of them. It's always so back and forth. She asked for a divorce leading up to her period. After her period, she wanted to go house shopping and said she couldn't imagine life without me and is so sorry she's losing her mind. Then she goes back to wanting a divorce. We had a lovely date last week, went to see a show, dinner, drinks, very cuddly and romantic. Next morning, I'm getting the cold shoulder. There has to be some sort of bipolar thing going on with her. That flip from one extreme to another has to be on there, right? Yesterday morning, I got the kids ready for school, and when she came down to take them, she said the divorce papers are on the table. Please sign them. I signed them. I have offered to pay for her living situation, bills, etc. for a year, take on all the debts. She gets to claim the kids on taxes, and after the year is up, I pay child support. She can have all the money in our savings, non-retirement investments, so on. I just want the clothes on my back and 50% access to my kids. Damn, chat, like, I still don't feel comfortable, like, putting an 100% verdict on it, but, like, this doesn't give the vibe that this paragraph was intentional. Don't get me wrong, I think he's still fucking up, and he's the devil. Both of them are the devil for, like, bringing these kids into this situation and, like, letting this go on as long as it has. Like, dude, at a certain point, it's like, have some self-respect, bro. She cheated on you. You gotta pull out of there. There's, like, this whole thing is just a fucking mess, but, like, this is very admirable in my eyes. This paragraph right here. Well, she's been in bed basically since I signed the papers. She went to her book club last night, but turned off her location. I didn't ask or say anything. When she got home, I had to leave for work. She texted me while I was at work, and I took 30 minutes to respond, so I guess she tore all of my clothes off the hangers in the closet. Today, she's just been in bed all day sleeping and says she pushes everyone who cares about her away. She says she wants to die. She won't talk to her family, friends, therapist, etc. It's so confusing. She asked for the divorce, said she'd stay at a women's shelter or in her car, that being married to me was killing her. I signed the papers and offer her all of our assets, and now she's just non-functional. Help. She did come back from wherever she went last night with a bunch of magnesium because she's convinced she has PMDD and has read magnesium helps. I don't know. I mean, the comments are tearing him a fucking new one, but I still don't know. Like, I can't really 100% confidently say that he was R-wording her in this. Based off of the research that we did, God, I still think they both suck. They need therapy. They need a divorce ASAP Rocky. At this point too, like, if she does do something, like, I don't think that's on his shoulders. This is like everyone needs to part ways. Being together is not only bad for you guys, but also bad for those kids that you brought in this world that you shouldn't have. Sarby, I will say, even if they have sexsomnia, it's either they are both asleep or one party is asleep, both unaware, not consenting. I need to know, do they stop right away or do they keep going? Because if they keep going while one is unaware of what's going on, yeah, I mean, he didn't clarify that. I don't know. I think this one's too much for Reddit. I think this is just a crazy fucking story that, like, only professionals should be able to weigh on this. And I'm not a professional at all. I do not have all the right answers. And by God, do I not have the right answer for this one, I think. I don't know even where to start with this story. r/relationship advice. My wife of 11 years has fallen out of love with me because I failed to do any grand gestures during that time. Advice needed. My wife and I have been together for 11 years with a 7-year-old son, and we have been on a rocky road for the past 3 or 4. Her point of view on our entire past has become sour because I haven't put effort into the big days. Birthdays, Mother's Day, Valentine's. We both work in food service, so it was not uncommon to be working during Mother's Day or Valentine's, but every time she was the one who would make plans. I really messed up recently. Her birthday was in January and we had plans to go dancing at night. First, we stopped at her job and her regulars bought her a bunch of shots and she ended up getting sick and I took her home where she spent the night in bed. The next day I drove 2 hours away to my parents to pick up our son and came home, but I didn't do anything special to make her feel better. I avoided bringing it up because I didn't want her to feel bad about her birthday not going to plan. Lately, talks of effort have come up, and during an argument, she was telling me I still hadn't made up for her birthday. So I bought decorations and had a surprise for her after work one day. But it only made her angry that it was 2 months too late. Now she's been saying the birthday was the last straw, and I should have done something the day or weekend after. She is right, and I see that, but no matter how much I try to work towards our future, she only sees it as backtracking. And I try to make up for a lack of effort in the past. Now she is telling me she loves me, but isn't in love with me anymore. It's like all the dates and fun and support and everything else doesn't matter because I didn't make plans for a few special days. What is the best course of action to proceed forward? OP definitely is the asshole. I almost wonder if there's more here because like the grand gestures bleed into other things. Like if this is the only bad part of your marriage, I'm honestly a little hesitant to be like her reaction makes sense. But also I feel like her reaction is because of more than OP is telling us. I like that he bought decorations here and tried to like make up for his mess up. Obviously, if you have a flaw and your partner identifies it, tells you about it, then at that point, it's just being willing to make up for that and fix it, which I'm getting a little bit here, but also I'm kind of wondering, like, did he just buy a couple of decorations and like half-ass it? Like, I feel like he's not giving us enough. He's not giving us enough here. And like, I almost feel like her reaction doesn't make sense with the context he's given us. And I feel like that's intentional. I almost want a needs more information. Don't get me wrong. You guys work on Mother's Day and Valentine's Day. Maybe an excuse. You could also not celebrate those things on Mother's Day. You can celebrate a mother by just being like, hey, we can't do it on Mother's Day, but we can do it the day after or 2 days later. Same with Valentine's Day. Birthday to me, no excuse. It's your partner's birthday. You make shit happen for them. That should just be a golden standard in any relationship that you're in. Am I the a-hole for saying my sister has a victim complex? I, 16, got into a fight with my sister, Emily, 20, and now she isn't speaking to me. I need to know if I'm in the wrong. My sister Emily has suffered from depression since she was 16, but after a year, she did seem to get better. I also think she has OCD, but I'm not sure. For some context, my sister is the oldest of 3, her, me, and my sister. She has been somewhat of a mother to me and my younger sister. Our parents used to fight a lot and she remembered the most and always protected us. She has always been academically gifted and gotten amazing grades and even gotten to a prestigious university, so our parents have a lot of high expectations on me and my younger sister, thanks to her. Now about me. I've been bullied in school and I just seem to be a magnet for fake and horrible people. I couldn't really tell anyone about it, not even my sister. My sister would always snap at me, and she wasn't available for me when I was younger, and sometimes I deeply resent her for it. When I would ask her to hang out or to go out, she would always claim she's busy studying for exams, or she didn't even have the time, even though she'd always be talking to her best friend on the phone. I brought this up with her one time, and she snapped, and brought up the few times that she did hang out with me, and the times I would join her and her friends. She also brought up she was constantly stressed and studying. She deserved to talk to her friends on the phone. I ended up apologizing because she ignored me for 3 days straight, even though all I wanted was to spend time with her. Anyways, flash forward to 2020. She was 16 and I was 12. The pandemic was extremely hard on my family. My sister went into severe depression. There are days she didn't get out of bed. She also developed an eating disorder and my mom was constantly worried about her. I will admit it did annoy me seeing how much my mom was stressing over her. I really wanted her to move out. Holy shit. I'd also get annoyed I was dealing with a lot in middle school. I was bullied by my crush and a lot of my peers. My mom didn't notice as she was too busy fretting over my sister. My sister wasn't there for me either. I started to hurt myself and I even wanted a way out. It was really dark and I was completely alone. I pushed through it though with the help of my best friend. Eventually, my sister got better and I started high school. We did get closer once we started attending the same high school. She became more attentive and always listened to me. One day, I fell out with my best friend who got me through everything and I was really in a dark place. I was also badly bullied in high school by girls and had a lot of fake friends. I had experiences with a guy making horrible comments towards me. My sister was there for me and it brought us a lot closer. She'd stay up late to talk to me and she would do small things to brighten my day. She also went into meetings with teachers and dealt with most of the bullying. Anytime I got into fights with friends or had meetings with my teachers, my sister would be the one to deal with it. I opened up to her a lot about my struggles, and she apologized to me for not being there. She was just going through a hard time. My sister was the only one who knew about me hurting myself. She kept it a secret as I insisted, but she said she wanted me to get some sort of counseling or at least come to her when I had urges. I started to care for her more and adore her even though I was still resentful of all the times she wasn't there. Hot take. So far, OP absolutely has a skewed perspective of their sister and definitely puts a lot of blame on them that the sister does not deserve. However, this is literally like a 12 to 16-year-old. Honestly, you guys, I want to fucking put the flame on the parents here. I mean, just off the rip, the older sister basically being OP's parent. Bad. The responsibility responsibility that the sister is taking going to meet with OP's teachers, responsibility of a parent. Even the parent basically neglecting their other child while, yes, worried about one of their children, that doesn't mean your other ones completely disappear and don't need to be attended to. Don't get me wrong, guys. I don't think OP is at all cooking, but like she's fucking 16 and in some parts of this 12. I don't know about y'all, but I wasn't very rational at the age of 12 either, or 16. I don't know. I want to keep reading, but I just wanted to point that out. Like, I just feel like this is kicking them while it's down. I also have a really complicated relationship with my younger sister. I do admit a lot of it is on me. I lash out on her a lot anytime she is immature. Looking at her makes me angry as she is a constant reminder of the fact that I was forced to grow up while she gets to be happy and a kid. I also do feel some jealousy of how close she is with my older sister and how good their relationship is. On to now. My sister started attending a prestigious university 2 years ago. We're all super proud of her. However, she started developing some annoying habits. Me and my sister share a room and she is constantly telling me to clean up and she hates the mess. For context, it's not mess. I need everything spread out and in front of me, otherwise I'll forget things. I can't help it and things clutter up and she doesn't understand that. She just keeps nagging me. One day she broke down crying about it and we got into a fight. After that fight, she doesn't really bother me about it. She has pulled away more and become a lot more quiet. She stays out very late and doesn't come home until 9. When she comes home, she starts studying straight away and does her night routine. She barely speaks to anyone. She does hang out a lot with her friends. She does have a good friend circle though, and I am really happy for her as she didn't really like talking to people or making friends. I mean, just sounds like a 20-year-old who lives at home with their siblings and kind of needs a break from them. A lot of stuff has happened with our family and extended family, and my mom has been going through a lot, so my sister and I have constantly been there for her. Like, really bad stuff. My granddad also passed away and it hit the family really hard, especially my mom, who's been a shell of herself. This is where my relationship with my mom started to get worse, as she hasn't been the same. We also fell out with a few family members, and this also hit my mom hard. My sister and I support my mom through this. Sometimes it just became too much, so I had to take a step back. I was going through a lot in school again and started getting picked on again, only this time I didn't have my sister in school with me. I had a big falling out with my new friend group, and I was also having issues with my boyfriend at the time. He was so sweet and loving before, but our relationship turned bitter. It led me to attempting. I didn't want anyone to find out, so I went to my sister and she took me to, guys, what's A&E? Accident and emergency. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I won't lie, this story is hard to follow. Honestly, y'all, she's kind of trauma dumping on us. Is a lot of what she's saying wrong? Yes, but like, guys, I want to tie it back. Like, I think these parents are parents who should not have kids. Is OP a woman? That's actually a good point. They didn't clarify. I'm assuming since they share a room, they are a girl. I don't actually know, chat. And she took me to accident and emergency. I was terrified of my parents finding out, but my sister said she has to tell them. Things have gone too far. She helped smooth things over with my parents, but my relationship with my mom suffered. My life became a black hole. Things with my boyfriend got worse when I found out he was being friendly with the people who led me to attempt. My sister never liked my friends or my boyfriend, but I snapped they actually liked being around me, unlike her, and she never said anything back. My boyfriend started to pull away more, and eventually I got so sick of the bullying, I started beating up my bullies. I ended up getting suspended, and my sister helped me move schools. I had a new identity and a fresh start. I was happier in my new school, but lately I've been having a few problems with my new friend group. One of the girls is annoyingly insecure, and she always puts me down and diminishes my problems. She always talks about herself, and I get tired of it. I talk to my sister about it normally, and she listens and gives me advice, but lately she's been really unbothered about everything. She replies with one-word answers, and she doesn't care much about what I have to say. It's frustrating as she normally listens to everything I have to say. I have no idea what's going on with her. I hate it when she is like this, and she's the only person I trust and the only person I can talk to properly. Anyways, here's where I might be the a-hole. We both got really sick, but she had a uni exam and she had to go. The exam center is around an hour away and it was winter. I asked her if she could get me something from the corner shop if her exam went well. If not, it was fine. She came home a few hours later and I asked if she got me anything and she replied coldly, and she replied no, coldly. I was taken aback and I asked how her exam went. She shrugged and went up to our room. She went straight to sleep. I just brushed it off and I started talking with my friends. I was thinking a lot about my ex and I decided to cut him off completely. I blocked his number. It was really hard for me and I started crying. I texted my sister about it, but she didn't respond. The next day we were talking and I jokingly said, I was crying and you didn't come down to comfort me. It was like a switch flipped. She started going crazy and saying she had to do an exam while she was sick, and I didn't even ask how it went. I did. And all I cared about was her getting me a snack. She also started bringing up other incidents, like when she broke up with her boyfriend, she was crying her eyes out in front of me, but I ignored her. I tried to explain that I didn't know what to do and she normally deals with her problems alone, or she'd rather talk to her friends. This made her even more angry. She also mentioned how when she was going through a hard time, she'd put everything aside and be there. Like when she was anxious for her driving test, she put it aside to comfort me about my boyfriend. I got angry at her throwing my boyfriend and my past in my face. She knows I've been to therapy and talking about him is hard. She started saying things like how I always get myself into trouble and I always expect her to deal with it. I've never expected her to do any of this. She just does it. Also, I got angry at her saying this when I was bullied. I got so mad at her and I told her she had a victim complex. She always thinks she's the victim and she's the only one going through things. She thinks no one else has problems. She completely shut down and just stormed off. It's been days and she hasn't spoken to me. She looks like a ghost. My mom is furious with me for what I said to my sister. My dad is on my side. He told my sister to let it go. She started ignoring him too. I don't know what to do. Am I the a-hole? I think this is just a whole toxic situation. I think everybody in this story is in fight or flight mode all the time and can't properly deal with their own emotions and then are forced to deal with other people's emotions as well. Once again, guys, I kind of want to go back to the parents. Honestly, this last interaction back here with the mom and the dad and how they handled this whole situation, like, I can just tell, bro. Like, I don't even want to call the kid the devil. Like, the kid is a fucking 16-year-old that clearly has their own problems. Do they maybe honestly have a little bit of a victim complex? Yeah, but like, I don't blame them. There is nobody in OP's life, from my perspective, that could have properly led them to a point where they didn't end up like this. It's truly sad. I don't even think that's Am I the Devil? I think that is truly everyone sucks here with an emphasis suck on the parents. The parents have truly ruined their children. Gender Ghost, I'm agreeing with you. I think OP and the sister deserve grace in this situation. Maybe they got some stuff going on that they got to figure out, especially OP. I think OP, there's a lot here that I definitely have a problem with. That being said, I think a big part of it is just the parents.
Come hang out. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't hug you like that.
He doesn't like it when I give him a big old hug, but I just want to give him like a little. But then every time I do that, he makes a little meow. What are we doing, sweet boy? What's the plan? I gots to know. You're just a handsome guy. Sorry, I'm just trying to show them how handsome you are. No, down. No. I know, you're not allowed on there, okay? That's my computer. You sometimes press the power button and then the whole stream will fall apart. Am I the a-hole for leaving dark and disturbing songs on the wedding playlist? So my partner and I are getting married in April. It's going to be a small party, just our closest family and a few friends. We're literally signing the papers and driving back to party at our house. There was some grumbling about it, but eventually our families accepted it and even started to help us with some things. The thing is, now that we're getting closer to the wedding, my partner's parents have decided to be angry about songs. Basically, each of the invited people had to send us 3 songs that would be played in the background during the party. No big deal. My partner and I also chose 3 songs. And now their family hates my songs. Since they learned the lyrics, they keep saying it's inappropriate, weird, funny, childish, etc. They hate one song in particular. It even got to the point where my partner's mother threatened to not show up if the song stayed. Honestly, I feel conflicted. On the one hand, I know that my partner is tired and this is all stressing them out even more, but I also find it stupid and annoying. I have a feeling that it's not about the songs themselves, but again about the fact that there won't be a big party to talk about in front of everyone. And I just feel a little irritated because these songs are important to me. I found them when I was a teenager. Thanks to them, I met my friends and even my partner. And the lyrics are neither in English nor in our language. And it's only 3 songs from a playlist that has 64 songs. Most guests will either not notice it or not even understand what is going on. The caption of this post is, spoiler, the song is about child abuse. Of all the Vocaloid songs to pick from, they had to choose Go Mean. I don't even know how to fucking say that. Go Mean? Go Men? Well, I'm actually kind of fucking scared to look up the lyrics of this song. Just from the initial Google search, he opens my ribs and drinks my soup. I don't think I have any taste. What the fuck? It's about really severe sexual abuse and eating feces. What? Y'all, do I fucking play this shit real quick? Is it this one, chat? I feel like I gotta listen to it. Cause I actually kind of agree with what Nox just said right here. Honestly, up to him and his partner what they want, especially if it's a low-key wedding, to be honest. I'm more just questioning the ethics of listening to a song talking about that. Is it supposed to raise awareness for the things that they talk about in the song? Or did someone make a really sick beat and just put some really heavy lyrics on it and then people were like, yeah, this sounds cool. Let me just play it, chat. Y'all, I was not expecting a fucking beat drop. That's crazy. What the fuck? No way, I just got wub-wubbed, dude. That's insane. Suck up all my yellow fat into a straw, stick that into my pee, and suck it up just like that. What? Then take my poop, stuff it, cut it up, and cook it too, even though my body's breaking down for you, Papa. You guys, I cannot lie to you. This feels inappropriate, chat. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for expressing trauma and using art to, like, work through that trauma. I think that's a beautiful thing. I don't get it, guys. This is too much, bro. Hold on, I just want to skip through and see the lyrics. Big bro never gulps down all my amniotic fluid, breaks open my tightened stomach, and feeling around what's inside. Genuinely, chat, like, I already don't like EDM. With these lyrics too, I'm like, I don't even want to fucking listen to this. I've been through CSA at a very young age, and this song perfectly describes how it feels. It feels like the abusers are eating you alive and sucking the life out of you. This is an amazing song. Not that it's beautiful per se, but it's not meant to be beautiful anyways. It's meant to hit you right where it hurts. I'm probably gonna butcher this. And Kikuo has done an excellent job at portraying this situation. I'm stunned. You know what? Maybe this is just completely missed the demographic, because I very much relate with this, Megan. Like, this is kind of disturbing for me, but like, for someone like this, it makes a lot of sense to them. So like, I don't know, guys. It's inappropriate for a wedding, but also it's their wedding. And this is from somebody who genuinely, I am not a fan of that song. If it helps other people get through their traumas, like, go for it. Me personally, I don't think I'm ever listening to that song ever again. I don't know how to explain it, guys. That song made me feel a little gross. I would assume that song is not meant for me, and that's fine. If someone had requested this song at someone's wedding, I think we would be crossing a line, but this is their wedding. I've always said, at your wedding, you can do whatever you want. That's your big day. If people have a problem with something that you do at your wedding, they can just not come. So honestly, you guys, man, this might be such a hot take, especially because I fucking hated this song, but I kind of want to go with not the a-hole. Like, especially from reading that comment, there are clearly people who this song means a lot to them, and I don't know if it means that way to OP. Either way, I don't want to invalidate anybody who, like, this does it for them, and it's their wedding. I just think those are so important. Is it a little inappropriate? Yeah, but the parents could just not go if they have that big of a problem with it. By God, are those lyrics fucking wow. That was probably the hardest not the a-hole verdict I've ever had to give out, guys. Genuinely. I don't know how to describe it, chat, but like, something about that feels really icky to me. Even knowing that there's like at least one person out there that it's helped through their trauma, like, it feels so icky. I'm thinking no a-holes here. Family isn't the a-hole for being offended, but OP is allowed to play whatever they want. Not a choice I would make, though. That's what I think. I'm not surprised the family's like, whoa, this song is not fucking it. But also, OP is allowed to do what he wants at his wedding. Like, guys, I genuinely never want to hear that song ever again. I don't want to hear that shit. Am I the a-hole? I splurged and bought me something after my wife told me no. I, 38 male, and my wife, 35 male, let's call her Kelly, have been together 9 years, married for 5, and we have 2 kids. Recently, I've been getting into sim racing, mainly Assetto Corsa. For some context, I am a long-distance trucker working 50-plus hour weeks, making around $170,000 a year. Damn, I didn't know truckers did it like that. Like, okay, get your bag, king. I'm usually home on Sundays, but that's not always the case. When I am home, I usually try to do something with the family, but since I found this new hobby, I've been spending more time there. Kelly hasn't liked it as I am not home much, so when I am, she wants family time. Perfectly understandable. Yet, since I can't race while working, I really don't have any time except for when I'm home. Within the last year, she has wanted a hot tub and a new car. I've bought her both since money's not an issue and they would be nice. So about 2 weeks ago, I brought up the idea that since no one ever rides with me in my truck, I could install a sim rig in the passenger seat. I've seen it done before and thought it would be the best of both worlds, as I could race when not driving, and when home we could have family time. She immediately shot down the idea, saying, "It's just going to be a huge waste of money." So without her knowing, I took off last Monday and Tuesday to have my friend who builds custom sim rigs build one into my passenger seat. After everything was done and bought, rig, PC, wheel, shifter, monitors, etc., it came out to be $3,700. Nothing compared to what went into her $5,000 hot tub and $39,000 car. Everything is collapsible so I can see while driving, so it is not a driving hazard and doesn't affect her at all. When I came home this Sunday and she saw it, she went ballistic, cussing me out and left me to walk home. I park my truck at my shop. Kelly comes to pick me up and drives me home. So after a 40-minute walk, I made it home to see she took the kids to her mother's and wanted to talk about making smart financial decisions. This made me mad as we have a large savings account and emergency fund, so what's wrong with me spending my hard-earned money to splurge a bit on myself? She is a stay-at-home mom and it has been that way since we've met. I do all I can to make sure she has everything she needs and is happy, but I can't have a sim rig to relax and have some fun with the boys. Am I the a-hole? Edit, I didn't think this would be needed, but seeing all the people saying that I take 2 days off for a hobby, but not for family. I take days/weeks off all the time. We go on family vacations every quarter. I make time for my family. This purchase is so I can enjoy my hobby on my downtime on the road. I see so many people saying, yeah, she's mad because you spent $4 grand to take more family time away. No, if you read the full post, it is in my truck. This allows me for more family time. Yet I'm not going out searching for things to do with my downtime on the road. Sorry for the confusion. Title was poorly picked too. For everyone saying I should have had a conversation, I tried. She shot me down immediately, wouldn't allow this conversation. The kids are back home and everything seems to be fine, and I do call her and the kids every night. So many people think I don't care about my family. It's ridiculous. Yo, am I fucking crazy, or is this actually not a devil? Like, don't get me wrong. If I had to put anything on this, I'm putting everyone sucks here. Even though like you spent money on other big things and you can afford it, $3,700 is definitely something you should talk about with your wife and get it 100% confirmed. You did go behind her back to get it set up, but also I don't fuck with this wife. I really don't. Honestly, chat, I think the wife's more of an a-hole than OP is. This man clearly works hard to provide for his family, values family time, but also values having a hobby. I think everybody should be allowed to have a hobby, and he found a creative solution that they could afford to be able to indulge in his hobby and make more time for his family. Like, to me, that's a fucking win. Don't get me wrong, I don't think you should tit for tat your marriage and what you guys spend money on, but I actually do think he's cooking, being like, hey, I bought you a fucking hot tub and a new car that was pretty expensive. Like, let me get this sim rig so that our family can benefit and I can be happy in life. Like, does the wife not want her husband to be happy, enjoy hobbies, and not have to split his time between his hobby and his family? Like, if he was doing this all the time instead of hanging out with his family, yeah, fuck him. Like, no, absolutely not. But it literally sounds like he came up with a creative solution and his wife just told him, fuck you. That's crazy they put that shit in AmITheDevil. What'd they caption? I make the money so wife should be quiet. That is not the vibe I got. Don't get me wrong, he shouldn't have gone behind her back, but like, y'all need to hold the wife more accountable. She wants all his happiness to come from family time. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that's where a majority of your happiness should come, but like, God forbid homeboy has a hobby. To me, that one feels like Reddit's getting mad at a man because there is kind of an implication of like, I'm the man, I should be able to control our finances, but that's not the vibe that I got from this. I got the vibe that he was like, we can fucking afford this and like, this will make me happy and allow me to spend more time with my family. Like, that's a big dub for everybody involved. It's actually a fat L if he doesn't buy this. He said money wasn't an issue, so it sounds to me like she just didn't like the idea of spending that much money on something she herself couldn't benefit from. Exactly, Sammy. And also, like, shouldn't have gone behind her back, but like pulling what she did where she like took the kids to her mom and was like, we need to make smarter financial decisions. Like, we have a large savings account and emergency fund. It very much sounds like they can afford it, you know? I think I want to stick to my everyone sucks here with the caveat that the wife sucks more, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't go behind your wife's back. It's so weird, chat. Like, I almost don't blame him for going behind his wife's back. It's not okay, but I really don't fuck with this wife. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna go with not the a-hole because the wife showed it was entirely justified to go behind her back. I actually see that. I don't think it's productive to a marriage, and that's why I want to stick with everyone sucks here, but I don't necessarily like completely disagree with that. Frankie, I actually disagree with this. Like, it sounds like he has a gaming rig at home that he uses anyway, and he's just creatively solving like, oh, I can set this up in my truck so that I'm doing it only on the road, and then when I'm home, it's full family time. No touching my gaming rig. I just don't get it. If anything, it gives the wife more ammunition to be like, get off your stupid game. You can play it when you're on the road. You need to spend time with our family, which is why like everybody's saying that the wife is a control freak and she wants final say on everything they spend their money on. Like, I kind of see that because logically she is not in the right here. r/true off my chest. I hate my family. My wife and I got into it about our son, John, who has been shitting himself and acting like a baby for the last 2 years. We had our second son, Peter, 2 years ago, and John started regressing afterwards. He turned 6 this summer and asked to go into kindergarten this fall. My wife pushed for him to be kept out of kindergarten for an extra year because of his conduct issues. Shitting himself and acting like a baby, and he's 6 years old, like kind of is still a baby. Maybe not baby, but like toddler? What are you expecting out of your 6-year-old, bro? Like what? My mother-in-law has put it into my wife's head that she can just pray away our son's misbehavior. That is also not the solution. When he screams and wails, she prays. When he throws himself on the ground and beats his face on the floor, she prays. When he shits himself and it runs into his shoes, she prays. While she's in the room praying, speaking in tongues, and bawling her eyes out, I'm having to go fucking deal with this goddamn mess. You know what makes it worse? John does all this shit on purpose. Peter cries because he needs a changing or is hungry, and John has to outdo him. Every single time that anything happens with Peter, John has to one-up him and goes overboard. John will purposefully shit himself while making eye contact. That's hilarious. Just making like that's so fucking awesome. I can't sit here and not pretend that that's like one of the funniest fucking things I've ever read. John will purposefully shit himself while making eye contact, and sometimes he'll smear it on the walls. I've caught him eating it. Shit all over his hands and face, shrieking at me. My fucking wife, no matter how much I plead, won't listen to me that John is doing this on purpose. She thinks he's afflicted by a demon or some shit. I don't know what to do. She won't fucking deal with this like a normal fucking person, and I'm grasping at straws. Okay, maybe he is doing it on purpose, but he's probably doing it on purpose because there's something wrong. Like there's something up, and you should probably go get it checked out. That's insane. On Friday, I just gotten done helping John bathe because he refuses to actually clean himself and screams in the tub. I got him dressed, and then Peter started crying right as I finished putting John's clothes on. I knew what was coming. I instinctively shouted, no, but John started screaming at the top of his lungs, stomping his feet, and then started straining. His face turned beet red. I thought he was going to pass out, but instead he just shit all over himself. I was so fucking mad that I just broke down. John started laughing and slapping his hands on the ground like a monkey while screaming, change me, over and over again. I couldn't do it anymore. I started screaming and cussing at him. I told him how much I fucking hate him. I told him that I wish I never had him and that he's made my life unbearable. Fucking Parent of the Year award goes to this guy. Holy shit. My wife came running in, tears already streaming down her face, yelling at me, telling me that I can't say those things. I can't say those things? I can't tell the fucking truth? Then she has the audacity, the absolute and utter fucking arrogance to tell me to change him and give him another bath. You fucking do it, I screamed, and yanked John's shit-filled pants and threw them at her. Shit went all over her and the floor, and she started puking as I pushed past her. What the actual fuck, bro? Just fucking wow. I got into my car and left. I've been at a hotel over the weekend, and I don't know if I can go back home. 2 years of hell, 2 years of suffering. I can't go back, and I don't know what to do. Edit. John doesn't have autism or anything like that. His brain is fine. He's doing this to spite me and my wife because he's jealous of Peter. He sees Peter getting attention and he wants it. He was fine, absolutely fine, until Peter came along. John mocks me. He laughs at me when I have to wipe him. He laughs at me when I have to clean up his shit. I have to do everything at home. I work and I have to do everything there too. My wife called and acted like nothing happened. She asked what I wanted, blueberry or chocolate waffles when I got home. I can't handle this. I told her I don't know if I'm even coming home. Thanks for all the replies and messages, but there's no fixing this situation. John is beyond fixing. He wants to drive me insane and I'm heading there. Bro, he's fucking 6. Maybe he doesn't have autism. Maybe he's doing this on purpose, but like there's probably something else psychologically wrong with him. Number 1. And number 2, you can't just leave your kid, my guy. That's not what parents do. Does he even like discipline the kid? Don't get me wrong, I'm not a parent. Maybe I'm not like the right person to ask about this. I think if the kid was like shitting himself, I would just force him to be in his shit for like an hour. I'd be like, bro, you literally shit in the bed that you're sleeping in. You're fucking sleeping in that bed. Maybe that's not the right way to do it, but something, bro. Dude, you're the parent. Discipline him. Don't let him push you around. What are we doing? And don't even get me started about this fucking wife, bro. The caption of this is parents who shouldn't be parents, and I've never agreed with something more in my entire fucking life. I can't believe that. Everything they did there was wrong. The way they they discipline their children, the way they don't work as a team, the way that the wife wants to fucking pray away her kid's bad behavior. Hey man, instead of praying to your sky daddy, let's fucking do something about it. Let's discipline the kid, put him in timeout. I don't know, guys. Maybe it's unethical for me to say that we should leave a kid in shit. Is that bad to say, guys? That's how babies get infections? Okay, so maybe we shouldn't leave him in his shit. But still, bro, there has to be some sort of punishment here. If the kid's smearing the shit on the wall, how about, hey, you're gonna clean this up and you're not allowed to do anything fun until you clean it up. Like something like that. I fear he may be disciplining the child too heavily. Like there is no indication in this story that he at all disciplined this kid. Maybe talk to a child therapist. Absolutely. That is 100% the help that there needs to be there too. Like I do appreciate you guys wanting to like positively parent this kid, but this kid does not sound like someone who can be positively parented. They need a full ass professional in here, bro. I work as a behavioral interventionist with children and adults with autism, and I want to assure you that behaviors like fecal smearing and intense tantrums, while extremely difficult to manage, are more common than you might think. It sounds like your son is struggling with something deeper and he needs the right support. I know the situation and must be overwhelming, especially if you and your wife aren't on the same page about how to handle it. From what you shared, it sounds like your wife may be struggling with her own mental health. It might be worth encouraging her to seek support as well, because navigating these challenges requires both parents to be in a good place mentally and emotionally. Right now, the most important thing is to get your son evaluated by a doctor or a specialist to better understand what's going on and what support he needs. If you haven't already, I'd also recommend looking into respite care or other local resources that can help lighten the load. What is respite care, guys? I actually don't know what that is. Respite care provides temporary relief for primary caregivers, allowing them to take a break from their caregiving responsibilities while the person receiving care continues to receive care in a safe environment. You know, guys, I almost wonder, is the solution to separate the two brothers? Not like separate, like get rid of one. I mean, like if like OP's wife could go live with the youngest with her mom, which isn't ideal because they're just gonna pray away all their problems, but like assuming they could eventually become better parents, would it make sense to like split like parent to parent to like, I don't know though, because would it just get bad again when they reconvene? I don't know, man. I think the solution is to take the kid to a psychologist to figure out if that's even the root of the problem. I mean, if I had to put money on it, it sounds like this only started when they had their second son. So I think there's something about John wants to be the center of attention. And who knows, maybe the parents are like bad parents and they're not giving him attention, so he has to get it. There's also the possibility too, chat, that he just wants all the attention to himself. Like I've actually heard of cases like that where only children get really, really upset when the parents put another child in the equation. So like, I'm just wondering if separating them is a temporary solution. Get help for all of them. Black Beauty, I think that's the only right answer here. This belongs in AmITheDevil, 100%. Posted in r/GuyCry. Banned on all dating apps. 31 male. Lonely. Before we finish up this last story, if you've gotten this far into the video, that probably means that you're enjoying it. And if that's the case, all I ask is that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future reading Reddit videos. I upload 2 a week. They're usually 40+ minutes and they go up every Monday and Thursday. On top of that, I have over 110 reading Reddit videos on my channel. So if you're looking for your daily dose of drama, head on over to my channel for hours and hours of reading Reddit stories just like this one. Had a Hinge with 800 likes and got banned. I'm really shy and never had a girlfriend, so Hinge was my only hope. Basically, I got banned for asking a girl if she was down for something casual. She wasn't my type for a relationship, even if that was my primary interest on the app. Lame reason to report someone, in my opinion. I got banned on Tinder and Bumble a long time ago for doing pretending to be a woman experiments. Fair bans, I won't complain. Sad face, I'm pretty lonely and not sure how I'm gonna meet a girl now. I don't have a social life to meet girls. This sucks. What is a pretending to be a woman experiment? What the fuck? Is that like catfishing as a woman? Is that really all it is? It's just catfishing. I don't think you should be on dating apps even in the first place. I feel like you should learn how to talk to girls in person before you do it on dating apps, you know? I honestly think this is a needs more information. Everything that I would be saying would be making assumptions. If he truly just got banned for asking a girl for something casual, if it was like the first message, yeah, bro, that's probably a little bit inappropriate. Like you should like get to know her and then let her know that you're looking for something more casual. But also, can you get banned on Hinge by just getting reported by one person? Like, I don't know the nuances of Hinge. And then this sounds like he just got banned on Tinder and Bumble for like doing a stupid prank, quote unquote. Honestly, I want more information on this one, chat. I don't think he sounds like an angel by any means, and he's probably hiding stuff from us, but until I have that information, I can't really say anything. How old is he? 31. You know what? He is kind of talking like a 6-year-old. Also, it pisses me off that he spelled lonely wrong like 4 times. Pretty lonely. I gave up on dating apps. It's easier IRL. I actually agree with that, Sophia. Dating apps are just a time eater and they usually don't amount to anything meaningful. Like if you're just going for hookups, sure, I guess use that shit. Like I know people have found their person on there, like good for you, but I think a majority of people get on there and then are like, wow, this is a shithole, and then they delete it. I just think it's so valuable, chat, to be confident enough to hit on someone in public, because that translates to a lot. Flirting in person is so fun. Like, don't get me wrong, like texting is nice because you can think about it more, maybe be a bit more witty, but like it is so much more fun when you're FaceTiming or when you're in person, bro. Oh,